Hello guys and welcome. I hope that you're doing well. My name is UHD King or I play 4K, aka I play 8K, aka I play 16K, and during this video I'm going to demonstrate Grid Autosport PC game running in 16K video resolution. This is going to be the world's first world record Grid Autosport PC game in 16K UHD, which is 15,360 pixels by 8,640 pixels, or 132.7 megapixels rendered in real time per every single frame. Okay. Um, Today I'm recording this video with Nvidia Shadow Play. It's recording on a single Titan RTX video card Turing GPU architecture that is equipped with 24 GB of video RAM, GDDR6, and Intel Core i9 9900K overclock at 5.3 GHz. We're gonna keep our eye at focus at the left top corner, and this is the test at the lowest possible visual preset without the recording, and Titan RTX running right now stock. So the video card Titan RTX, Nvidia Titan RTX running completely stock. I'm going to now do the same test while Titan RTX running stock, but I'm recording at this point. But this was test without the recording, so we're gonna find out exactly how much is going to be within the recording, how much FPS we're gonna lose, and then I'm going to test all kind of presets. As again, this is the world's first 16K video resolution in Grid Autosport, and this is the first video provided on YouTube on February 5th, 2023 on a technology that was available in 2018, but nobody did it. And you can do it out of the 4 8K screens in of the array to create the 16K UHD. Okay, and Titan RTX video card is the first video card that allows us to do it as a gamer's first video card equipped with 24 GB of video RAM, because 24 GB of video RAM is required. Okay guys, let's go ahead and keep going. I'm coming in real time. This is going to be a single take. This is a beautiful game, by the way, powered by the Ego 3 game engine. So as you can see, this is going to be the presets. Preset ultra low. I didn't touch the quality, and windowed mode, which is full screen, is off. 15,360 pixels by 8,640 pixels. My desktop is set to 15,360 pixels by 8,640 pixels as well, 100% scale. In the end of this video, I'm going to demonstrate it for you as a fact. Okay. The game is not runnable under the full screen mode. It's jumping towards the windowed mode automatically, but it's runnable under the 16K video resolution. So 88 FPS was without Nvidia Shadow Play recording as average FPS. Let's go ahead and have a look how it's going to be this time. Okay, ultra low preset. I'm sipping the green tea, actually raspberry tea with the 2 lime slices, the best healthiest drink. The best will be water with 2 lime slices, but tea will be a little bit fancy, and also coffee will be fancier, but coffee is bad for your blood when you're drinking too much of it. Keep that in mind. So better drink too much of the raspberry tea. I just woke up. It's almost 6 a.m. and I decided to go ahead and record it for you. This is without any modes, Steam version, Grid Autosport. I also recorded Grid Autosport on Radeon Pro Duo, 2 of them in Crossfire, total 4 Fuji XT GPUs in Crossfire from 2016. I also recorded with the 3 Titan X Maxwell GPU architecture in SLI, 4 Titan X Maxwell GPU architecture in SLI, single Titan X Maxwell GPU architecture in SLI, and from all kind of different laptops in this particular game in 4K video resolution and 8K video resolution. But 16K video resolution was not possible throughout those type of technologies because video RAM of 24,000 gigabytes or 24,000 megabytes, sorry, or 24 gigabytes is required. As you can see, at lowest possible preset, the video RAM utilization right now is almost 14,000 megabytes, which is 14 gigabytes. This is on the Nvidia video cards and AMD video cards. It's going to be 30% less than that. because AMD is using better texture compression method through the hardware. The GPU utilization 99%. The CPU is Core i9 9900K Intel 9000 series flagship. Overclock at 5.3 GHz, but 2 physical cores disabled. Hyper-threading technology is disabled. So it's running 5300 MHz or 5.3 GHz as external maximum frequency, and 5200 MHz or 5.2 GHz as AVX2 instruction. Grid is powered as again by Eager 3 game engine, same as Dirt, PC games series. It's a beautiful game, still a beautiful game. This game was released in 2014. I also recorded on Radeon R9 290 in Crossfire, and I'm going to include all the videos for you to compare in the video comments down below. Go ahead and check it out, or check out the UHDking.com YouTube channel for more information, but I will make sure to put those videos for you in the comments of this video. This game is has a lot of modes, but this is right now running without any modes, guys. The classic version, the original version on Steam in 2023, which will be the same as it was in 2016 when I was testing it on the 3 Titan X Maxwell GPU architecture and SLI, 4 Titan X Maxwell GPU architecture and SLI, and 2 Radeon Pro Duo in Crossfire. The version of Pro Duos, Radeon Pro Duos from 2016, each of them, those video cards, Radeon Pro Duo, had 2 GPUs, Fuji XT. Okay guys, so as you can see, 83 FPS average right now. We went from 88 FPS to 83 FPS average, minimum FPS 67, maximum FPS 99. So we lost 5 FPS. So I would say it's not a 10%. 10% will be 8 FPS. So 5 FPS will be like 6%. So you gotta add 6%. We're gonna add the percentage, not the FPS, but the percentage. So 6% to the FPS counter. Without the recording, you gotta add it. So right now I'm going to go ahead and overclock the Titan RTX, and we're going to find out what's up. Okay, let me go ahead and do that. Let me bring real quick the MSI Afterburner. As you can see, everything is so small because my desktop is set to 16K UHD as well. As again, in the end of this video, I'm going to demonstrate it for you, as well as I'm going to introduce you within the details with my PC hardware specifications. So Titan RTX was running stock. Right now I'm going to go ahead and overclock it, and let me show you real quick the advantage when you are going to overclock the Titan RTX. What will be the advantage? So this is the GPU Z, as you can see. So check it out, guys. You want to keep, let me zoom in a little bit farther than that, 16K video resolution, no joke. And I'm using the Windows magnifier zoom tool, as you can see right here, at 800%, and everything is so sharp. Yes, indeed, we're rendering 16K video resolution as my desktop. This is very crucial as well, especially when you're running the game in windowed mode. Keep that in mind. So pixel fill rate will be changed when I'm going to overclock the Titan RTX by additional 10 gigapixels per second. Textual fill rate will be changed by 30 gigapixels per second, and bandwidth will change by 120 gigabytes per second. Keep in mind, my DDR4 right now running 3200 megahertz, but CL11, it's running the fastest possible preset. It's delivering 50 gigabytes per second, or 50,000 megabytes per second bandwidth on DDR4. And right now, through the overclock, I'm going to additionally bring 120 gigabytes per second boost on our video RAM instead of system RAM. So DDR4 my system RAM, and video RAM is my GDDR6 by Samsung, and this Titan RTX same video RAM as on RTX 2080 Ti video card. But RTX 2080 Ti video card is not capable to run this benchmark. So in this type of case, when I'm going to overclock the Titan RTX, we're going to beat up in terms of computing power of the RTX 3000 series 3080 video card, which is Ampere GPU architecture, and I'm still with the Turing GPU architecture, the older GPU architecture. Keep that in mind. And we have double of the video RAM capacity than RTX 3080 video card. So RTX 3080 video card is not capable to run this. Only RTX 3090 video card is capable to run this, RTX 3090 Ti when it comes to next GPU architecture such as Ampere GPU architecture, or when it comes to the ADA GPU architecture, the total dominant GPU architecture by Nvidia, which is RTX 4000 series, RTX 4090 video card that is also equipped with 24 gigabyte of video RAM. So 24 gigabyte of video RAM for the Nvidia cards is required, but 30% of video RAM less for the AMD Radeon video cards. Okay, let me go ahead and overclock it. So I show you where to put your eye. And right now, check it out. You can see exactly what I told you. We increase here, here, and over here. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump in. So I'm going to rebench it now. Titan RTX is overclocked now. So 83 FPS average. Keep your eye at the average, all right? So with Nvidia Shadow Play recording, without it, you gotta add 6%. So 83 FPS, let's go ahead and do it again. This is the ultra low preset, guys. And we're gonna keep improving our visual presets. I decided to test the ultra low preset for those people that was asking me. On YouTube it was like over 10 people, and I decided to go ahead and do it. So just for you to see what the CPU and GPU relation in terms of the benchmark as well. And just because it's the first data, the first vertex towards the 16K UHD benchmarking vector direction, and why not, especially in Grid Autosport. They already, guys, removed from the Steam Grid 2 PC game. It's not available on Steam to purchase, but Grid Autosport is still there, and Grid Autosport is looking just great, guys, for the game from 2014. It's again powered by the EGA game engine by Codemasters, and the same pretty much game engine that powering Dirt games. And this game is again, you can find a lot of modes for this game and improve the visuals, but this is the original game on Steam in February 2023, sorry, that will be the same as that I was testing in 2015-2016. There is no such a biggie, no such a difference, but as again, you can improve the visuals through the modes. The models, the cars are still beautiful. That was the year where a lot of gamers jump into the PC games, and the PC games start looking amazingly well, where you can recognize the models. As you can see, this 3 Type Series BMW is so recognizable, the Ford GT, the classic Ford GT, the Mercedes, very rare black edition. It's just unbelievable, guys. 83, 85 FPS. That MS stands for the milliseconds. It's a latency delay between the CPU system RAM, GPU video RAM, so the hardware and the software. And software will be Windows 10 Professional Operating System in our case, Nvidia drivers, DirectX 11 API, and the game engine, which is the EGA. It's all creating 13, 15 milliseconds, even 10 milliseconds of latency delay before each frame is rendered. This is a comfortable gameplay status. When the latency delay below 15 milliseconds, comfortable, very comfortable gameplay status. When it's below 20 milliseconds, it's comfortable gameplay status. When it's below 10 milliseconds, it's amazing gameplay status, especially below 5 milliseconds. Keep that in mind. Look at this 107 FPS average when Titan RTX is overclocked. Almost 14,000 megabytes of our video RAM. GPU utilization 99%, exactly how we want to see it, 99-100% GPU utilization as overall. That means that we're utilizing all 4,608 CUDA cores, which will be Turing GPU architecture revision with 96 kilobytes of level 1 cache, and per utilization of the each streaming multiprocessor units, and shared 6 megabytes of level second cache, which is nothing when comparing to either GPU architecture RTX 4000 series video cards. But this is the first vector, the first data, guys, so we gotta appreciate that. Check it out. We improve in terms of the FPS from 83 to 95. We improved 12 FPS, so pretty much we improved like 15% boost. I would say 13-14% boost out of our free overclock through the software, which is unbelievable. But as again, if you're going to overclock your computer, your PC hardware parts, you're doing it on your own risk and expenses. Nobody gonna compensate you anything. But I'm going to create a video tutorial where I'm going to explain to you how to do it properly, guys. Okay. It will be available over UHDking.com, how to overclock Titan RTX video card and how to overclock RTX 2080 Ti video card properly to deliver maximum performance. Alright guys, 95 FPS ultra low preset, which is the minimum possible preset without any tricks. Let's go ahead and bring to medium. I don't want to test the low because pretty much it's going to be almost the same. I'm going to bring to medium. What I'm going to do after I'm going to switch every single preset, I'm going to reboot the game just in case to refresh the video RAM garbage collector, and everything will be refreshed. So medium preset, I'm going to go ahead and reboot the game real quick, guys. I'm coming in real time. I just woke up. Don't forget to smash that like button. Look how small that Steam is looking. That Steam is like 4K video resolution, that window right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and execute it again. Keep in mind that Grid Autosport supports touch, and this Grid Autosport is available on Android mobile devices already since 2019 or 2008, no, since 2019, not 2018, but 2019, and available on iOS mobile devices. So you can play it on your mobile phones or iPads or Android pads, keep that in mind, tablets. It's an unbelievable game, especially when we are talking 16K video resolution maxed out. Just unbelievable. And if you're going to put additional modes on it, it's going to look just like today's games, guys. And it has a great opportunity for the modders, keep that in mind. Go ahead and check out the mods on it, but as again, the purpose for me to test it without any mods so we can compare it with the future PC hardware specifications, mobile devices, video cards, CPUs, and etc. over the UHDking.com, or you can compare it with your system and let us know your scores. Okay, so the game has the benchmark, which is nice, proper game development by game developers. So medium preset, this is how we're going to do it without any touch. As again, I'm not going to edit this video. This video will be just in real time, single take. I know that there is still a lot of cuckoos playing this game, that having the steering wheels and pedals and such, and all those kind of emulation system. It's a great game, guys, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people playing this game on the mobile devices in 2023, and this game is still looking unbelievable. This game is probably one of the best single player games on the mobile devices. Check it out, guys. Immediately will improve in terms of the quality. That Mercedes is just beautiful. It's a Black Series edition. The cars are unbelievable. This was a great year for the racing games and the great year for the PC games. Not only for the racing games in terms of the model of the cars, because there is a lot of classic cars throughout this years was actually available, and this game has underlined them. It also has the classics, as also has the newer kind of version of the cars. But as well as it's a great for the PC racing games because the visuals improved to another level. It was 2014. Imagine to see something like that before the Maxwell GPU architecture, just before the Radeon R9 290 was released by the AMD, and I recorded with the single of them in 4K video resolution. The FPS was barely 60, but then I recorded in Crossfire because, as again, game supports SLI and Crossfire, and I'm going to include all the videos in video comments. Go ahead and watch it. 4K video resolution, 8K video resolution, 10K video resolution, so we can compare, guys, and see how the technology improved through the years. The FPS has dropped dramatically at the medium preset from the very low. not even 30 FPS average. But keep in mind that this game supports SLI, and I have two Titan RTX video cards, so I'm going to run the secondary Titan RTX video card in this system. Right now it's not installed, but I'm going to install, and I will try to run a two-way SLI through the NVLink bridge. So it's going to be two Titan RTXs and SLI. It's going to be available over UHDking.com. However, this is the first data for the single Titan RTX video card, and it's from the system actually that was in that year when Titan RTX was released, which is Intel Core i9 9900K, the flagship, the best possible gaming CPU. On top of it, it's overclocked to 5.3 gigahertz, so we brought additional at least 10% of the FPS boost just through the CPU overclock through the motherboard, and the CPU is acting just like 10,900K, a little bit faster than that, and equal to 11,900K CPU at stock. But 12,900K will beat me, but 12,900K from 2022, keep that in mind. So I'm kinda almost 2022 performance from 2018, and I'm showing the technology from just when Turing GPU architecture flagship as Titan RTX video card was released, Nvidia TU102 GPU during GPU architecture. Anyways, average FPS 32 FPS, minimum FPS 24, maximum FPS 42. Still 30 FPS, still kind of playable for the classic gamers, okay? Especially when you have the controller. It's going to be much better playable versus the keyboard. Okay, so, but as again, not comfortable, but playable. But the purpose of this benchmark is to see if it's benchable in real time. Keep that in mind. So we're gonna go ahead and improve that. So I'm going to go ahead and now I'm going to use the high, and then I will try the ultra, and then I will try them completely maxed out, because ultra is not going to be maxed out. So high preset, let's go ahead and reboot the game just in case. So from 32 FPS, let's see, we went from 93 FPS to 32 FPS. Okay, let's reboot the game and let's go ahead and have a look. The game is still looking unbelievable, guys, and this is without any modes. And as again, it has a lot of modes, and it has the modding. If you're a modder, it has a great modding opportunity. You can turn this game into just like game from 2023 almost. You can improve the textures and stuff, and there is a lot of modes already available. Just go ahead and Google it. But when you're testing it, make sure to test it without any modes. I will try to show you with the top of the line modes in this game to underline it during GPU architecture. If two Titan RTXs and SLI will show under 16K video resolution at playable FPS. Okay. My cousin was playing this game, and he hates now the Russian language, but he was playing in Russian language. He hates because the war, so because he's not the Russian. Anyways, graphics, but he speaks Russian perfectly. He speaks also multiple languages. So high preset, let's go ahead and have a look. This game is runnable on the Intel CPUs, guys. So this is a great game if you have like, you don't have no video cards, but you have like, you just purchase a laptop, a cheap laptop, let's say for $500 in 2023. You can still play this game 1080p at 60 FPS plus 60 FPS plus, so above 60 FPS, just on CPU with the Intel integrated graphics. So this is a great game. That's why I'm testing it. And it's still a great looking game, and it has a lot of fans, and as again, a lot of people still playing it with the racing simulators. It's not a rally like a dirt, but it's kind of racing in the city and still looking great. Grid was like a big competitor to the Need for Speed, but looks like they lost the edge, and also Need for Speed lost its edge as well. So look like they don't have a great racing games right now, except the by Microsoft, like Forza Motorsport is a beautiful racing game. It's dominating right now. And guys, I'm going to show you the Forza's racing games as well on the Turing GPU architecture. I have all the licenses. I have the 4, 7, 5. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate it for you over the UHDking.com. It's going to be nice for you to check out. Also, 15360 times 8640.com website will be dedicated to 16K video resolution games, movies, and etc. Go ahead and check it out. But if you straight into the gaming, go ahead and check out the iplay16k.com. It's going to be dedicated to 16K gaming, 16K gameplays, 16K video resolution gameplays, 16K gameplay benchmarks. It's looking great, guys, and this is the, look at this. This is not the maxed out yet, but still looking great. Those refractions are not through the ray tracing, not through the RTX technology. This game doesn't support the RTX, so the Nvidia RTX is not supported. Those reflection and refraction are fake, but look how fake they are. They look almost like a real one. I can see every single refraction one on that Mercedes. You can see everything almost, so it's looking almost like the real deal. It's fakish, but it's done properly, and it's unbelievable. It's almost like RTX. RTX will bring almost nothing. It's going to be hard to see, but it's gonna drop your performance at least by 3 times on Turing GPU architecture, and it's not going to be possible to run 16K video resolution. The game looks beautiful. I can see the shadows kind of low quality on the shadows, so if you're a modder, you want to improve those shadows, make sure they're not going to be that kind of ugly. I can see the edges and the shadows. So the performance from switching from medium to this type of preset is kind of the same. Look at this, too high, which is 28 FPS. So from 32 to 28, not big deal in terms of the average FPS. So average FPS 28, minimum FPS 22, maximum FPS 35. Okay, the game looks beautiful. It's just beauty, guys. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm going to go ahead and use the ultra, and then I'm going to use the everything maxed out. Okay, let's go ahead and quit ultra preset. The game from 2014, and you can see that if we're gonna bring the tessellation and we're gonna deform that 3D model, 3D mesh, 3D primitive, it's going to be on another level. Or you can bring a much better, or you can tessellate in your 3D application that 3D model and bring it back and try to load it back into the game through the game engine. Hopefully it's going to load. Hopefully it's not limited to polygon counts, to polygons count, like to triangles count. Some game engines are limited artificially, some are not. Like CryEngine 3 is limited artificially. You cannot load the 3D model above 20,000 polygons or 20,000 triangles per model in CryEngine 3. Otherwise, it's not going to do that. It's going to bring you the error. And CryEngine 5 had the same issue. Right now, CryEngine 5 called CryEngine, and hopefully they fix that. But as again, that's why when you working with the CryEngine, you're loading every single model. You can split the model like head, torso, leg, arm, and it can be all the way up to 20,000 triangles. It's limited, 20,000 polygons. Keep that in mind. But not all games are artificially limited, and it's kind of, I do not understand. It's kind of shame for the game developers to limit the game engines. Alright, so ultra preset, let's go ahead and have a look. This is maxed out. Let's go ahead and have a look. Hopefully it's going to fix that shadow. Shadow was kind of ugly. Look at this, the refraction are right there, but this is not the ray tracing. This is not the Nvidia RTX. This kind of fakeish ray tracing, but a great looking one. Grid, by the way, is a great racing game. I'm going to record all the grids, guys, available on the Turing GPU architecture. I will try to do 8K video resolution and 16K video resolution. I believe that this game has a cap, if I'm not mistaken, after 200 FPS. If it doesn't have a cap, I'm going to show you 4K video resolution as well on Turing GPU architecture, but I'm going to be focused on 8K video resolution and especially 16K video resolution. I also will try to show you 12K video resolution as well on a single Titan RTX and hopefully on 2 Titan RTXs and SLI, all the grids that are possible. As again, unfortunately, they removed the Grid 2 PC game that was released in 2013. It's not available on Steam, but I will try to also bench it. Maybe not the Steam version. I have it on Steam though, but I cannot run the game. Somehow it's not running on Steam. I will try to reinstall it. Maybe it's going to be runnable. I also will try to bench all the dirt PC games on EGA. All of those racing games are on EGA game engine, and this one is powered EGA 3 from 2014. I believe the same game engine as Dirt Autos, the Dirt Showdown, if I'm not mistaken. And kind of Dirt Showdown is not about the rally. It's going to be also about racing in the city, and then it's going to be a little bit of rally. It's gonna mix of everything, which is also a great game. Keep that in mind. Alright, the FPS has dropped dramatically, not even 20 FPS. But 2 Titan RTXs and SLI could show here above 30 FPS average, and I cannot wait to test it. Right now I'm running Titan RTX on Nvidia dual fan stock air cooler, keep that in mind, but it's using the liquid metal thermal compound paste and GPU and Arctic silver thermal pads on Nvidia RAM. But I cannot run 2 Titan RTXs on Nvidia stock air coolers in SLI when it's overclocked, because the first video card closest to the GPU is getting too hot because the air pockets, and it's only runnable in SLI when it's overclocked, when you're going to use the liquid solutions such as hybrid water cooler by Ghetto, something like that, built by yourself, or a professional closed loop or something like that, water cooler, whichever I'm not advising you guys. You're gonna waste like over $500, sometimes even $1,000 if it's going to be professional water cooling solution, or even if it's going to be the hybrid Ghetto water coolers, install of them, you're gonna waste at least over $200. I'm not advising you, I'm advising you to not to do that, and it's a little bit of risky. Sometimes you can burn your video card, sometimes you can damage it. Just run it as it is, but try to buy a video card with triple fans. When you're buying video cards, buy it with triple fans, and it's going to be stay nice and cool. And in 2023, SLI is not supported because SLI technology is supported on DirectX 9, DirectX 10 and DirectX 11 APIs, and newer games will be released on DirectX 12 APIs and newer APIs, and SLI is not supported. However, multi-GPU supported, but developers doesn't want to support multiple GPU because it's a multi-threading in parallel, kind of complex programming for them, and they kind of lazy. Anyways, average FPS 19 FPS, minimum FPS 15, maximum FPS 26. So if Titan RTX will be supported here, and if it should be showing at 99% twice performance, so it should show it like 38, 37 FPS average, but just because they're going to run stock, I would assume like 35, maybe 34, 33 FPS average, still going to be playable FPS for the classic old school gamers. I can play it at 30 FPS average, this game, especially with the controller. Anyways, alright, so let's go ahead and have a look, guys. The last test will be, and I'm going to go ahead and use the Ultra, but I'm going to, so that 19 FPS, I'm going to go ahead and enable everything to the maximum possible visuals, if possible. So soft ambient occlusion, we're gonna enable that. Was disabled, and everything at Ultra is possible. Advanced lighting, we're going to enable that as well. Hopefully it's going to fix the problem with the shadows. Keep in mind, this is without any anti-aliasing. Okay, global illumination is on. Texture quality is high as maximum. Shadow quality high as maximum. Okay, smoke shadows here. Advanced blending. This one is only for the Intel. I cannot enable that. Second screen, I didn't care about the second screen, so this is how we're gonna do it. Let me go ahead and reboot it just in case, as we already decided to do that. And then I will try to use the anti-aliasing if we're going to have enough of video RAM, just to see how it's going to perform with the anti-aliasing. I'm just curious myself. Beautiful looking game, guys, and it's beautiful looking game on the mobile devices, on the iOS and Android, especially on Android when you can run at 1080p, and because and above 1080p, like 1440p, you can modify the game and run 1440p over 1080p, and it's going to be much better than on iOS. Keep that in mind. Try it, guys. The game is amazing. It goes like $10 on the Apple Store. I have it on my iPad. It's beautiful looking on the iPad, especially on iPad Pro, or pretty much it's runnable on iPad 9 series, which is the old school, guys, iPad. I mean, not iPad 9, with the iPad A9 chip from 2016. Actually, you can run this game from 2016 iPad. Can you believe it? 2015 even iPad, and can be also runnable on iPhone 7. I believe iPhone 6 is kind of lagging a little bit. iPhone 7 is runnable, but I tested this game. I'm going to include the video on the iPhone XR and iPhone 7 and iPad 5th generation, which is powered as again with the Apple A9 chip, which is same as iPhone 7. Beautiful game, beautiful looking game, as again, even when it's original, it's just from 2014, but beautiful. The developer did a good job over here. Too bad it didn't win too much of the fans, but the game is unbelievable, guys. The game is beautiful looking game. Okay, let's go ahead and have a look. It has a beautiful engine sounds in the car, so you can feel that Mercedes so much. So quality, you already know the quality. It's under the custom. So let's go ahead and execute that. And let's go ahead and have a look at our video RAM utilization. The game is still looking great, guys. I would play this game today, and I would enjoy it for a couple of evenings just to release some stress. If you're stressed or something like that, play computer games. It's gonna release some stress. It's great for your brain, for your neural system, and even for your intellectual capabilities. Instead of getting to the bar and drink and do some nonsense, go ahead and study computer science or play some computer games. It still didn't fix the shadows. I can see a little bit of ugly shadows right there. So hopefully they're gonna fix it through the mode. Just a little bit. It's better, but not that much. Still not that much. Just a little bit by that Mercedes logo here. I can see the shadows as you just saw it. It's kind of squarish right there. Ugly edges. Look at this. The video RAM utilization is almost 20,000 megabytes, which is 20 gigabytes. So hopefully we can try to do 2x anti-aliasing. I want to do that, guys. I want to stress it as much as possible and show you all kind of different video presets, so in the future we can compare it with the future systems, future video cards, future CPUs, just to see what is the difference. I will try to test Titan RTX video card on the 13,000 series Intel CPUs as well, which is Titan RTX video card, just to see the comparison versus the i9-9900K, but the performance should be at least 10% higher versus my i9-9900K at 5.3 gigahertz, 13,900K or 13,600K when it's overclocked should show at least 10% boost, at least as minimum, but I think it's going to be an average 15% boost in terms of the FPS. Can you believe it? Just from the CPU. And I cannot wait to test this game on RTX 3090, RTX 3090 Ti, and RTX 4090 video card, or hopefully RTX 4090 Ti, or I think it's going to be Titan EDA, and I'm gonna get it, guys. And I need your support. Please smash that like button, subscribe, share it with your friends, watch my sponsors. I'm giving a lot of giveaways. I'm gonna try to do giveaways of the hardware as well in the future, but I need to have your support. As you can see, my YouTube channel as UHD King, very unique content. There is no copycats involved, and I'm the pioneer that's showing you 16K video resolution. I was the first YouTuber that showed you first ever 16K video resolution gameplay in Counter-Strike 1.6 in 2015 with my 3 Radeon R9 290s in Crossfire, and then but it wasn't over this channel. Over this channel it was beginning of 2016, Half-Life 2 on a 4 Titan X Maxwell GPU architecture that was equipped with 12 GB of video RAM. This was the first video card that allowed us through the Nvidia to run the Half-Life 2 PC game without any issues, with a 12 GB of video RAM on board of each video card in 16K video resolution. And I showed you that video in 2016. So as you can see, a lot of information, data, computer science shared with you guys, no matter what kind of angle you are, graphics designer, 3D artist, gamer, game developer, software developer, PC hardware enthusiast, PC overclocker, you're learning a lot. So don't forget to smash that like button, support me guys, subscribe, share it with your friends, and visit my sponsors, check them out. So I'm gonna collect those pennies and invest back into my YouTube channel, back into you guys. Beautiful looking game. As you can see, maximum visuals. Now the car is almost, we can still see that texture on the tire is not right, so hopefully they're gonna fix the texture on the tire, and that going to be a little bit better. And especially that the RAM is kind of, when it comes to metal, it's not there yet. Hopefully a little bit of the better specular maps, I would call it, so it's going to underline the metal a little bit better than that. Anyways, average FPS 16, minimum FPS 13, maximum FPS 20. Okay, so this was, guys, the maximum visual presets. As again, let me remind you, this is the preset. Everything was maxed out in the PC game, but without the anti-aliasing. Right now we're going to go ahead and max out to the anti-aliasing. Okay, so maximum visual preset, and we're going to go ahead and improve the anti-aliasing now. So multi-sampling, exactly what we want to have. And I'm going to use 2 times MSA. Let's go ahead and start with that. I'm going to reboot the game. Guys, keep in mind that my Nvidia driver is modified or hacked, and Nvidia Shadowplay is modified or hacked as well. So Nvidia Shadowplay on Turing GPU architecture on RTX 2000 series flagship video card is still recording in 8K video resolution. It was supported by the GPU, but Nvidia didn't include an Nvidia Shadowplay. But I modified the Nvidia Shadowplay to the RAM debugger tool, and I learned it through the Visual Basic all the way back in 2007. How to do that? You can modify any application through the RAM debugger tool. And I modified the Nvidia driver, so I'm running right now 8K screen, 60 Hz, but with DSR to 16K, but through the DSR, through the native DSR, original DSR, not the AI DSR. Nvidia now has 2 different DSRs, AI DSR and native DSR, but AI DSR was not supported on the Turing GPU architecture, so it's native DSR, keep that in mind. And it's going to be as same as native resolution, plus minus couple FPS, like 2 FPS plus minus. Keep that in mind. Alright, so let's go ahead and have a look. 2 times MSA. So anti-aliasing 2 times. We are about to increase our video RAM utilization, and we're gonna drop the FPS a little bit. But anti-aliasing method is not a big deal for the Turing GPU architecture. This is what I learned. But we're going to find out. Let's go ahead and have a look. It's almost 6 a.m. guys. I just woke up and I decided to record this game for you. I have a dream like I was running this game, and I'm like, woke up, I'm like, I'm gonna record it. So 2 times MSA, guys. MSA anti-aliasing is a serious anti-aliasing algorithm. So let's go out and have a look. As again, we're not sure how developers, game developers implemented those type of features in this game, but most likely they use those anti-aliasing, and we're gonna see the improvements on the shadow maps, hopefully. But we're going to find out. But shadow maps are using the low quality textures, and hopefully they're going to improve the shadow maps, the motors. As again, I'm not going to mod this game. I'm modding right now Quake 1, Quake 2, Quake 3, and Stalker Stalker Call of Duty PC games. It is cinematic modes by UHD King for artistic bites. Go ahead and check out the moddb.com. I'm doing that, and I will try maybe in the future add some more games that I love to improve those games. No, shadows not improved. So anti-aliasing didn't improve the shadow maps. So the first thing what you want to do, you want to improve the shadow map, so the card is not going to have those ugly shadows. It's kind of squarish lines. Everything looking great except the shadows. It's kind of ruined the, on that Mercedes, ruined kind of those shadow maps, ruining the visuals a little bit. But the game looks great, guys, especially in 16K video resolution. So please watch this video on 8K UHD or 4320p. Switch it in your YouTube player. I will go ahead and upload it the way it is. Right now I'm using the bitrate on Nvidia Shadowplay 100 megabit per second. So this video will be about 40-50 minutes. It's most likely it's going to be like 100 gigabytes video file size, but I'm just going to upload it the way it is, so it's going to be beautiful visuals. Go ahead and watch it the way it is and appreciate it in 8K video resolution. But as again, you better watch it 16K video resolution. And today in 2023 you can build up yourself 16K video resolution even when the screens are not available yet. You can build up out of the 4 8K screens arrays, and it's going to be below $8,000 including taxes. I check out, let's say, Best Buy, the United States technology store, computer store, and you can buy 4 8K screens, Samsung or LG from 2021, beautiful screens. It's going to be 85 inches. You can buy 4 of them below $1,500 each, and you can build up out of the 16K video resolution out of the 4 8K screens arrays, and the real estate of the screen of 16K video resolution will be above 300 inches. It's going to be unbelievable experience, guys. You're just going to be in a game, and then if racing games is your games, then you're going to get yourself steering wheel, and it's just going to be unbelievable experience, guys. It's below $8,000 for 8K screens, LG or Samsung. Grab yourself Samsung. I advise you to grab yourself a Samsung. Make sure that it's supporting HDMI 2.1, okay, because this is the future. 2.1. Okay, guys, average FPS 15 FPS, minimum FPS 12, maximum FPS 19. And why HDMI 2.1? Because it's going to be 8K 60 Hz. Because on the Titan RTX video card, through single port through the HDMI, I can only output 8K 30 Hz, but through the display port converted to HDMI 2.1, I can output 8K 60 Hz. Keep that in mind, per port, but not through the HDMI. That's why 16K video resolution array on a Titan RTX, single Titan RTX video card is not possible 16K 60 Hz because the fourth port through the HDMI is going to support only 8K 30 Hz because it's HDMI 2.0, not 2.1 yet. So average FPS 15, beautiful as again result, minimum FPS 12, maximum FPS 19. So let's go ahead and increase the anti-aliasing. So anti-aliasing method is not a biggie for this game, as we can see, but maybe it's not supported in 16K video resolution. We never know. So let's go ahead and increase to 4 times. We're gonna find out if we're gonna drop that performance. And I'm going to go ahead and reboot it real quick. I'm about to eat something, guys. I gotta eat something, and then in the morning I'm gonna do some business. And I'm gonna come back, and on my free time I'm gonna record more videos in 16K video resolution. Hopefully I'm gonna record this game in 8K video resolution for you, and 12K video resolution on a single Titan RTX video card. And I'm about, guys, very soon. Right now I'm sitting in my computer lab, and it's kind of noisy. That's why my voice can be a little bit distorted, because I'm using the artificial CPU, artificial intelligence, that's removing the noise from my voice while it's recording, and it's not disturbing any FPS. Maybe 1 FPS has dropped. I'm not using the Nvidia RTX voice technology, which is great, but it's using some GPU CUDA cores, and it's dropping some FPS. But that tool is amazing. That software is amazing to remove any noise from your voice. Right now I'm using the CPU noise removal, and we can drop about 1 FPS maximum. Anyways, 4 times anti-aliasing, maximum visuals. As again, I cannot wait to test it with RTX 4000 series flagship video card, hopefully RTX 4090 or above RTX 4090, because the RTX 4090 Ti or Titan ADA, whatever they're going to release, will feature, guys, 48 gigabyte of GDDR6X with 1 terabyte of bandwidth as minimum. Right now my bandwidth is 800 gigabytes per second, and that one is 1 terabyte per second bandwidth on video RAM GDDR6X, which is 1000 gigabytes per second from stock, and you can further overclock it to like 1200 gigabytes per second. This is just unbelievable, guys. And imagine 48 gigabytes of that GDDR6X is just going to be unbelievable. Anyways, 4x, right? 4x should be 4x. Yep. 15,360 by 8,640, 4x. Let's go ahead and have a look. Be improving the quality. Can we max out this game? I'm just curious, without the black screen. Or are we gonna max out our 24 gigabyte of GDDR6 video RAM? Right now, look at my utilization, almost 24,000 megabytes, even without the game is loaded. It's still loading, but almost 24,000 megabytes or 24 gigabytes of video RAM utilization in the left top corner. Guys, look at this reflection, almost like real. It's almost like real ray tracing, but as again, the game doesn't use the Nvidia RTX technology, because when the game was released in 2014, the Nvidia RTX technology wasn't supported during that time. Nvidia RTX technology brought to us, to the gamers in 2018, but to the professionals in 2017 through the Volta GPUs, Nvidia Volta GPU architecture, but to the gamers through the Turing GPU architecture. So Turing GPU architecture is the first generation of the gamers video cards, such as RTX 2080 Ti or Titan RTX video cards that was utilizing as a flagships Nvidia RTX technology, which is the ray tracing technology. The video RAM utilization is still below 24,000 megabytes, so it's still below 24 gigabytes. System RAM utilization below 14,000 megabytes, 14 gigabytes. Video RAM is overclocked by 2500 megahertz. As you can see, we jumped from 14,000 megahertz to 16,500 megahertz, and it brought us additional 120 gigabytes per second bandwidth, twice more than my DDR4 system RAM bandwidth is capable, which is one of the fastest DDR4 because it's below 45 nanoseconds. It's 3200 megahertz, but it's not CL18, not CL16, not even CL14. It's CL11, and I achieved that because I'm using the Corsair DDR4 5000 megahertz CL18, but it's unstable on a Z390 motherboard. That's why I'm building myself 13900K system, guys, my next system, because I'm going to utilize DDR4, because right now there is not such a difference between the DDR4 and DDR5, and I'm pretty sure with the newer Intel CPUs they're going to use different motherboards. So then I'm going to switch to DDR5 platforms. Otherwise, I would be building myself a system on AMD Ryzen 9 7950X or 7950X 3D, because it's much better when it comes to 3D rendering capabilities. And I'm a 3D artist, 3D animator, graphics designer, and not only the gamers, and overall it's better computer. But just because I would love to utilize this DDR4, and I would love to push it to that 5000 megahertz, but it's running the microchips, and I have some doubts, because I was always lying since DDR1 time. DDR1, DDR2, DDR3, they lied to me. I was always buying the flagships and never ran them at those speeds that Corsair market. So maybe they're liars, but we're going to find out. If they're going to be liars with DDR4, I will never buy top of the line DDR again from the Corsair. This is not the Samsung B chips, this is Micron chips. So there is a possibility they lied to us. But the Micron chips love the latency. In the end of this video, I'm going to explain to you guys. So average FPS 15, minimum FPS 12, maximum FPS 18. Great, great. So we're still losing the FPS. So look like anti-aliasing is working, but on Turing GPU architecture, even the MSIA is not a big deal. That means, guys, that for the RTX 4000 series video cards, the anti-aliasing method will be almost like nothing. It's going to love the anti-aliasing MSIA, and MSIA is almost one of the best anti-aliasing algorithms out there. Keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and improve the anti-aliasing to 8x now. What is the maximum? Is it 16? No, 8x is the maximum. So this is going to be the maxed out, guys. 8x on anti-aliasing. Let's go ahead now look at that. Hopefully we are not going to crash the game, not going to overload the game, because we are already was almost pushing the limits of our video RAM. We still have like 600 megabytes to go, but we're going to find out. 8x could overload our video RAM actually. You're going to see it by the system RAM usage, because the system RAM usage will go above 15,000 megabytes, and if it's going to reach like that, that's a clear sign that we overloaded our video RAM and we are floating some data in after the level second cache. That GPU is offloading the data instead of video RAM. It's loading it directly into the system RAM, and system RAM is only 50 gigabytes per second data bandwidth, or 50,000 megabytes per second, and its peak, versus the 800 gigabytes per second of the video RAM. So look at this, those 6 cores. I disabled 2 physical cores, and I disabled the hyper-threading technology in the BIOS of my motherboard, because the hyper-threading technology is additional 8 logical cores, and they kind of slow when it comes to Intel 9000 series CPUs. 3 logical cores through that hyper-threading technology is equal 1 physical core. Keep that in mind. Or 1 physical thread is equal to 3 logical threads, and they're kind of slow. So I better to use the physical cores and physical threads, and I'm not bottlenecked through my threads, as you can see at the left top corner, because my CPU utilization will never reach even above 50%. That's very important. Most likely you're bottlenecking through your CPU threads when you're gonna see when CPU sometimes is reaching 90%, 90%. That's a clear sign that you at least gotta add additional 2 threads, and they better be physical versus the logical, for the best possible performance in PC games. When you're doing like 3D rendering, you can add the logicals to improve the performance, but PC games loves the physical threads, physical cores. Oh my god, the game looks unbelievable, but as you can see, those stickers kind of blurred out, and there is a mode to fix it. I know that for sure, but as again, the purpose why I'm running without the mode, I don't want to run without the within the modes, because I'm going to ruin the point. Those modes can be unavailable, and you cannot test the same scenarios. So you can test the same scenarios, or I'm going to test in the future the same scenarios over the UHDking.com. In the future, that textures can be improved by the Nvidia going to release the AI texture upscaler utility, and first they're going to start with the Nvidia partner games, but then I think they're going to, it depends what kind of image formats it's going to support, and then I think that utility will be able to support all kind of games. So it's going to upscale up to 4 times any textures in the games and increase the visuals to another level. Besides the DLSS, DLSS is kind of upscaling through the AI, but right now we are not upscaling. Right now we're rendering in real time in 16K video resolution, and then we're downscaling because I'm using DSR. But DLSS is kind of upscale through the AI, but upscale on 4000 series Nvidia video cards GPUs, RTX 4000 series is almost good as native. Keep that in mind. So RTX 5000 series video cards with the DLSS 4.0 technology will bring the upscale will be as good as native, guys, in terms of the pixels through the AI. because AI right now and machine learning is not a joke any longer. It's not a fraud. It's a real deal. Check it out. The video RAM utilization. Okay, we have this lag. Doing. I think this is the video RAM offload from the video RAM into the system RAM instead of loading into video RAM into the system RAM from level second cache and GPU. And when this happens, probably most likely we are offloading very important data, and that's why we are right now having this lag, because we're feeling that 50 gigabytes per second data bandwidth, and we are bottlenecking our CPU before it's loading another instruction towards the another pixels and another frames. It's waiting till it's going to offload the data into the system RAM, and our system RAM utilization about 15,000 megabytes, about 15 gigabytes. So it's a clear sign, as we remember when we started at the low visuals, that's pretty much should be our consistent system RAM utilization throughout, no matter what kind of settings we're switching. Because when you're switching the visual settings in PC games, you're utilizing your video RAM instead of system RAM. But we're after switching the visual presets, after high visual preset, you saw we start utilizing more system RAM, and that was a clear sign that we offloaded a lot of data from video RAM into the system RAM. But right now it's lagging kind of slow-mo. That means that Nvidia driver is still catching up the data without the game crashing, but it's offloading unnecessary data that already ruining our experience, and it's kind of slow. And that's why the latency delay is increased over 200 milliseconds latency delay. And this again, that MS stands for milliseconds latency delay between the hardware and software. The lower value is better, and FPS frames per second, the higher value is better. And yeah, so pretty much we're not delivering the potential computing performance out of our GPU on the TU102 right now, because we are bottlenecking that, and GPU is waiting until the data will be offloaded into the system RAM, and it takes that 50 gigabytes per second bandwidth, not fast enough for Turing GPU architecture, because it's at least required 600 gigabytes per second to breathe freely. But we are running right now 800 gigabytes per second, even faster than that, and it should be consistent there. Otherwise, the parallel computing, which is GPU is designed for parallel computing, is not doing the right job, and is bottlenecking artificially right now through the Nvidia driver. Hopefully guys this makes sense. So if the Titan RTX would have 48 gigabyte of video RAM, I'm pretty sure we would be over here like 12-10 FPS versus 4 FPS. We just cut it at least by 50%. This is what I'm assuming based on this particular game, based on the FPS that we already saw. And that the Turing GPU architecture in form of the RTX 8000 series video card, the same GPU TU102 as Titan RTX has, but that Quadro RTX 8000 series video card featuring 48 gigabyte of GDDR6 by Samsung, but it's going to be, I believe it by Micron actually, but it's going to be registered server video RAM, and it's checking error checks, and while the Titan RTX has the video RAM without the error checks, and that's the difference pretty much between the Quadros and the RTX 6000 video cards and RTX 8000 video cards versus the Titan RTX. They have the error checks on the video RAM and Titan RTX on the Quadros, and Titan RTX doesn't have the error checks. But pretty much the same technologies, but they're charging twice for that, and it's marketing, because the corporation of Reach, they have much like 100 times more than consumer, and they can afford that. So stay away from Quadros, guys, but you can use the Quadros for PC gaming, no problem. Quadros will feature more video RAM on board from the start before the gamer video cards will receive that. As you can see, we just pretty much loaded the data that we had in video RAM, and everything was speed up, and then just avoid to load that was in the system RAM in that portion of the level. So alright guys, hopefully that makes sense. Check it out. Actually a minimum FPS 12 FPS, average FPS 13, so I was kind of right, 12 13 FPS, sometimes even 10 FPS, not 4. That little portion of the level was kind of because of the video RAM overload. So average FPS 13, so pretty much actually I believe this is healthy, showing over here. Look like the game engine calculated for us correctly, but visually we didn't see it correctly, because we saw like 4 FPS. Minimum FPS 12, maximum FPS 16. Great results. This is the maximum possible, guys. visuals. So we're done over here with our benchmarks. Okay. What should I give you an extra bonus? But I'm going to show you the 8K video resolution. Let me show you an extra bonus, guys. I'm going to switch the video mode to 8K real quick. Let me show you the extra bonus. Should I show you the extra bonus? Here's the 8K. 8 times MSA. I'm just going to show 8 times MSA for those who's curious. Window mode, so it's supposed to scale the whole deal over here. And it did. As you can see, 4 of those 8K screens is equal 1 16K screen. It did it. Okay. So let's go ahead and bench it. Just an extra bonus for those who's curious. Maxed out 8 times MSA just to see what's up. And let me actually reboot the game. So we're gonna clean that video RAM garbage collector just in case, but I believe the game has no problem to clean it. It doesn't require the reboot, but just in case, we're going to double sure. And this is going to be an extra bonus, and then I'm going to completely show you the 8K video resolution in the grid, hopefully, and I will also show you 12K video resolution with the 3 8K screens in vertical mode. For those who's curious, and maybe 10K video resolution as well, because I believe that I tested Grid in 10K video resolution on my Asus GL702 VS laptop equipped with GTX 1070 M series video card that is equal performance as Titan X Maxwell GPU architecture, but was limited to 8 GB of video RAM. But let's go ahead and extra bonus. Don't forget to smash that like button. And as again, guys, 16K video resolution is the maximum renderable in real-time resolution on all kind of available commercial or open source APIs. In the end of this video, I'm going to demonstrate it for you as a fact that this is a true, while we're going to read some information of the value, maximum supported width and height value through the APIs, through the ADA64 benchmark utility. It's just going to call that API and going to pull up that value, maximum supported value. As again, guys, this is the last presets that we're going to do, and custom preset, which ultimately maxed out 8K video resolution. Cannot wait to test this on the mobile devices, M2 Apple chips, and I'm gonna do that, guys, in the future. That's why I'm testing this game. This is going to be a very important thing, because we can test this game on M2 as well, just to see how well the M2 Apple chip is doing in terms of the GPU and CPU performance, because they're breathing hard in the back of the PC industry, guys. They're 3 years beyond, and they're cutting that time. In 2019 they were like 5 years, and they introduced the M1 chip, and right now they're 3 years beyond, and they're gonna catch up, guys, with the not only with the CPU performance, they already catch up with the CPU performance almost. Only the AMD and Intel just right now is so scared, and they're adding additional cores, all those threads, but they're using the efficiency cores just like Apple introduced to us. But Apple is also breezing in terms of the GPU performance, GPU cores, breezing like 3 years away from the Nvidia, and they're gonna get it, guys. In 2025, Apple will dominate the PC industry. 2025, keep that in mind. This is my prediction. I predicted that in 2018, and we are approaching to those times. When the Apple will reach 64 core GPU, on GPU 64 cores, guys, it's going to perform as good as, it's going to outperform RTX 4000 series flagship. I'm pretty sure about it, if Apple GPU will feature 64 cores. The FPS will be almost the same, guys. Even if I'm running like this, don't worry. It's running on the Windows 10 professional operating system that's supporting fully DirectX 11 API, and it doesn't matter if it's those portion of the extra screen. It's not going to render it. It's so smart and intelligent while it's rendering. But I'm going to include the 8K video resolution in Grid Autosport on the same system as again, and 12K video resolution, and hopefully 10K video resolution will be included as well for those who's curious. because as again, this is a very important game because we're gonna test this game with the mobile devices in the future. Because this game will be supported natively with the mobile devices. I'm not talking about in the App Store for the iOS, the mobile version of this game, but it's going to be supported on M1, M2 chips as well, because this game is friendly for the mobile devices. That means that they've developed this game on friendly compilers. That's why they had no problem to integrate it in the iOS App Store and Android App Store. Okay, the FPS was crazy. So guys, average FPS 52, minimum FPS 43, maximum FPS 61. Beautiful, absolutely amazing experience. 52 FPS average, 8K video resolution, 8 times MSA, anti-aliasing. Turing GPU architecture, TU102 GPU by Nvidia Titan RTX video card. Okay, so we done, completed this ultimate benchmark. It's great. Okay, and let me go ahead and introduce you guys real quick. Before we're gonna keep moving, let me actually, just because this was the world's first 16K video resolution benchmark in Grid Autosport PC game, I decided to go ahead and give you a gift from me, from UHD King. I don't have a Grid Autosport. Somehow they're charging so much for this game, like about 40 bucks right now in 2023. So I have another game that powered by the Eagle game engine. It's a Dirt Showdown PC game. I still believe it's powered by the same game engine, by the Eagle 3 game engine, or maybe a little bit older game engine. But the game is almost the same. It's a kind of rally as well as it's racing in the city. It's called Dirt Showdown PC game. Almost the same visuals. It's for Steam. Just to celebrate, guys, the Grid Autosport PC game in 16K video resolution, 15,360 pixels by 8,640 pixels, which is 132.7 megapixels per each frame rendered in real time. And today you saw at least 1.3 gigapixels, actually. 1.3, yeah, because we even more than that, 1.7 gigapixels per second, if overall pixels per second, because we were running like 13 FPS and every single frame was 132.7 megapixels. Okay, as the world's first 16K UHD gameplay or 16K video resolution benchmark, world's record by UHD King, guys. Okay, so this is the code right here. Go ahead and activate this code on Steam right here. Okay, this is from February 5th, 2023, but this type of technology to us during GPU architecture and Titan RTX video cards was available in 2018, and I pretty much show you all the demonstration from the technology that was available to us in 2018, but I brought it overclocked to the maximum performance. Okay, let me close that, and what we're gonna do real quick, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you my computer specification real quick, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. So I did the benchmarks without Nvidia Shadowplay recording. So as you can see, this is how the Titan RTX versus this CPU, but this CPU only with the 6 core 6 threads, 2 physical cores disabled in the BIOS, and hyper-threading technology disabled in the BIOS as well. So as I told you, below 45 nanoseconds, try to match my latency delay. Okay, for the DDR4 below 44 nanoseconds. NS stands for the nanoseconds. Over there, MS was milliseconds. Over here, NS for nanoseconds, even faster than that. This is latency delay between the CPU and system RAM. And GPU was also using this latency when it was storing the data from the GPU into the system RAM, avoiding the video RAM because video RAM was overloaded. So as you can see, my read, write, and copy bandwidth is almost 50,000 megabytes or 50 gigabytes, a hair slower than that. It's not going to be improved if I'm going to add 2 additional cores or 2 additional threads or hyper-threading technology enabled in the device. It's not going to be improved in terms of the memory, which is the system RAM. But level 1 cache, level 2 cache, level 3 cache, read, write, and copy bandwidth will improve if I'm going to add additional 2 physical cores with the 2 physical threads, and I will add additional hyper-threading technology. We're going to improve those values, but latency delay for the level 1 cache, level 2 cache, level 3 cache will be the same, and the latency delay is controlled by the cache frequency multiplier. I will go ahead and show it to you guys. It's controlled heavily by that, okay? And 53 multiplier for the external maximum frequency, and 52 multiplier for the AVX2 instruction frequency, and for the Intel 9000 series controlled by the Intel driver and motherboard bias. When it's decided when you're not going to take any advantages to run maximum external frequency, which is 5.3 gigahertz, it's going to switch to AVX2 instruction frequency, which will be in our case 5.2 gigahertz, or only 100 megahertz slower, but it's totally stable. And as again, DDR4 3200 megahertz, CL11 1T command. Let me real quick go ahead and show it to you. Check it out, my performance, single thread performance. When we're talking PC games in 2023 and older, single thread performance is the key. 636 points. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit farther. Okay, and let me put it like that so you're going to see what's going on, like a little bit like that. And multi-thread performance, it's when you like doing 3D rendering, video encoding, or something like that, and when you're only utilizing all available threads, all available cores at 100%, this is where you're going to boost up through that multi-thread. This is exactly when you're going to take advantage. Otherwise, you got to take your eye and focus at the single thread performance. Look at this, 6 cores, scored 5.72 X, which is great result for the Intel 9000 series CPU. Let me real quick go ahead and compare with all kind of different CPUs real quick so you're gonna have a clue. Look at this. This is my newer AMD Ryzen 9 5950X CPU, and I'm almost as fast as that CPU single thread performance. That means that I'm going to have slower, have faster than that CPU when that CPU running stock, and that CPU is 1 year, almost 1 year is newer than my CPU. Keep that in mind, by AMD. This is the same year as my CPU, 3000 series Ryzen 9, and I'm outperforming it by 100 points single thread performance. That means I'm going to show more FPS in PC games. Press the pause button. I'm going to go through those CPUs. Look at that, the 12900K CPU, even when it's running fast, it's faster than my i9 9900K overclock at 5.3 gigahertz by about 10%. 10% in terms of the single thread performance. That means it's gonna show 10% faster FPS as minimum. I'm dominating 10900K CPU by about 40 points, so I'm gonna show a little bit more FPS, but going to be faster, by hair faster. And that CPU much newer than my 9000 series, because that 10000 series Intel CPU. Press the pause button, guys. This is the same CPU that I'm having, but without the GPU. It doesn't matter. Pretty much the same CPU, and I'm dominating by 100 points. Single thread performance. And multi-thread performance, I'm like 5500 when I'm using the HT, which is 16 thread total, hyper-threading technology, and all the 8 physical cores enabled. Okay. This is all the CPUs. You can probably see your CPU. I used to have the 2600K, was running 4.2 gigahertz, was great CPU. And then I used to have this puppy right here, Dale Intel E8500. Look at this. I'm almost by 3 times faster in terms of the single thread performance, core per core, thread per thread. Alright guys, so let me bring the Titan RTX stock, and here's the value. Gonna decrease pixel fill rate by 10 gigapixels per second. Check it out. The Titan RTX can output 179 gigapixels per second, and you saw 1.7 gigapixels was rendering when I was delivering maxed out 13 FPS. So per second it was 1.7 gigapixels. So Titan RTX can do 100 times more than that, 100 times more than that. But I believe it's not when you're doing pixels computing like with the shaders, complex algorithms and such. I think this is the value based on NVIDIA driver when you pretty much copy and paste, write the pixels without any shader computations, without any algorithms to it, just a pure pixels, okay, without any algorithms to it to compute. And it can do 100 more gigapixels per second. We were delivering 1.7 gigapixels per second, and it can do 17900 gigapixels per second total output for the Turing GPU architecture TU102 GPU, which is Titan RTX video card that was featured the same GPU that was on RTX 6000 quadras and RTX 8000 quadras, which the difference between those will be only video RAM. Error checking video RAM versus Titan RTX doesn't have the error checking, but same TU102 GPU, same CUDA cores, 4604 CUDA cores. So bandwidth will be also decreased by 120 gigabytes per second. Check it out. I'm gonna bring it to stock. You already saw it. Let me real quick go ahead and show you guys. Let me bring the Windows magnifier zoom tool, and let me real quick go ahead and show you guys that my display settings is indeed 16K video resolution. Check it out. This is under 900% zoom. Try to do it under 4K video resolution. Everything will be so pixelated, but over here is everything is so sharp. 1600% is the maximum Windows magnifier zoom tool, zoom in abilities, and 100% scale, very crucial, keep that in mind. 15,360 pixels by 8,640 pixels, which is 132.7 megapixels per each frame rendered. Okay, let me zoom out, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Today is again February 5th, 2023. You just watched the technology that was available in the end of 2018. Right now I'm putting some great videos for you to check out. Also check the video comments for the relative videos to this topic. I'm gonna put 4 Titan X Maxwell GPU architecture in SLI, 3 Titan X Maxwell GPU architecture in SLI, single Titan X Maxwell and SLI, 4 Radeon R9 to 90 in Crossfire, 3 Radeon R9 to 90 in Crossfire in this game benchmark, and 2 Radeon Pro Duos with total output of the 4 Fuji XT GPUs in Crossfire. You don't want to miss, and future video cards and laptops benchmarks in this game, as well as mobile devices, will be available. My name is UHD King, or I play 4K, aka I play 8K, aka I play 16K. Guys, I'm doing it on my own time and expenses. Please support me. Smash that like button, subscribe, share it with your friends, visit my sponsors. I'm going to collect those pennies. I'm going to give you more giveaways, more hardware giveaways, more software giveaways, and support me, guys. Have a good morning, good day, good evening, good night. Till the next time.